I'm getting another key win with Jeff. And this was a special win. This is actually the first time that I've ever seen the other team surrender. I've been on teams that have surrendered like crazy. I've got all the evidence. I've got all the videos showing you 2 of my teammates quitting. I had 3 games in a row where I had people on my team quitting. I've had plenty of games after the first round. People are trying to quit. They're initiating the vote. Even in games that are still winnable. Yeah, maybe the first round wasn't the greatest, but it's not over till it's over. You can win those games, but people are just so quick to quit. I've really been through it. And it was frustrating because when you're trying to climb and then you're getting hit with people quitting and giving up, those are losses that set you back. You're rocking back from platinum to gold. You go up to platinum, you go right back to gold. You keep doing that dance. Then you go up to diamond, you go right back to plat. Go up to diamond, go right back to plat. It just seems like this is always going on. And everybody quitting, leaving games, surrendering, it just adds insult to injury. And it's funny because they recently put out a patch to make it easier to surrender. So now when people initiate the vote to surrender, if you have 6 players, you only need 5 to say yes. Before, you needed all 6. And if somebody already left, there's only 5 people in the game, then you only need 4 votes for the surrender to go through. There's a lot of people that are intentionally throwing games, so they did that because they didn't want one thrower who's doing this on purpose, who's griefing his own teammates. They didn't want that guy to prevent them from backing out and just going to another game, surrendering. But I think this is going to backfire because I've been in so many of those games where it's a close game and people just want to quit as soon as round 2 starts. It's not like anybody left the game. A lot of people that play this game are stubborn. They don't want to make any switches. They don't want to change the heroes they're using. They don't want to counter any matchups. They're just quick to quit. So I don't know. I don't know if I like that they lowered the threshold for the surrender to go through. I think they just need to take care of the people that are leaving games and throwing games. If you report somebody for throwing games, or if they leave games, they need to lose a full rank. Something bad needs to happen to discourage that behavior from continuing to happen. That's the solution to this problem, not lowering the threshold of the vote. It's just like when they introduced those chrono cards instead of fixing the matchmaking. No, if you give people 8 chrono cards, they're going to be quitting games like crazy because it doesn't matter if they quit the game because they're not going to lose rank because they got 8 of those bad boys that you gave out for free. And what's going on with this map? Did you see that rebuild cheese? Right in the middle of a fight, the building just got rebuilt. This ain't Fortnite, baby. Why they do that on some of these maps? If you destroy the map, it should just stay destroyed. Why is it building back in the middle of the fight? That doesn't make any sense. Things are getting desperate. Listen to all of the ults going off. You had Loki going off. You got Emma going off. The Punisher going off. Then there's going to be a Storm and a Jeff going off. And it's funny because I'm going to try to stop that Storm combo. See right here, you hear that? And then they also did that. And I'm going to try it. And it does nothing. That Jeff NATO combo. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how do you stop that. I found out. I effed around and I found out that my ult cannot stop that Jeff and Storm combo. But you got to try it. You don't know. You don't know if it's going to work. I saw a clip where somehow Psylocke's ult stopped that. So see, how do you know what's going to stop it or not until you try it? So why not let it fly? That's my excuse for trying right there. When I first started playing this game, I did make a second account just to get 300 units. Because when you start the game, they give you an assembly code or something like that. So if you give that to another new player and then they get to level 10, then you get 300 units. Or actually, I don't know if you get 300 units or 100. I don't know. You get something. So I did that, and with that other account, sometimes I'll play like 1 or 2 games of rank just to warm up, get the aim right, you know, something light. And that's when I started to encounter the professional throwers. And actually, I think I need to go back and see if I saved one of those games, or maybe if I can find it where somebody went 0-0. Because at the end of the game, I saw the guy that went 0-0 and he would move. I saw him move just a little bit, and then he stands there, and I was looking at him like, wait, are you really just moving your controller every so often so that you don't get kicked, so that you make sure that we lose this game so we can't rank up and we get stuck in silver? Is that what's really going on here? There are professional throwers. Now, obviously, I didn't really care too much because that's not my account. I'm just on there playing maybe one game, just to warm up. But why are people doing that? That's crazy. Now, they have somebody that quit on their team. It's funny because that guy's name is Manny Pacquiao, which is a famous boxer. And in boxing, sometimes you have to throw out that white flag. You got to surrender. And that's exactly what this team is going to end up doing. They're going to surrender. So he quit at the end of round 1 when we were just about to get the full 3 points. So it makes sense that they are going to surrender here in round 2 because they're playing 5v6. That makes sense. And that Black Widow is really trying to get me up out of here. She is standing in the spawn, but it's tough to get that headshot on Jeff when I'm drifting like a boss. And my team is spawn trapping again. This is the GM3 lobby. Now, obviously, it's 5v6, so it makes sense that they're spawn trapping. However, I have other games coming up where they're going to be spawn trapping right at the spawn door. And it's not 5v6. It's a full 6v6, and they're still being this aggressive. Because I just posted a gameplay where they did the same thing, 6v6. And my team was right in front of the spawn door, spawn trapping as well. That's why in these higher lobbies, it's like the strategies are different. You're seeing a lot of aggression, a lot of aggressive play. And that's why I'm still hanging back here, because I still don't believe that that's the right thing to do, to go right up to the spawn door. Because when I've done that in the lower ranks, it never works out. Bad things happen. You're out of position. You die. Then you got to run all the way back. And then while you're running all the way back, the team is moving up. They're advancing. So you went from spawn trapping to then losing because you went too far up. But hey, what can I say? I can't really knock this strategy because I'm seeing multiple teams that I'm on doing this to the other team. So they wouldn't be doing that if it didn't work. So clearly it works. And once again, maybe I just have to get used to doing something new in these higher lobbies because the IQs, everybody's just so much better. So maybe this is the right thing to do when you have good teammates. Maybe you are supposed to spawn trap right in front of their door. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Again, this is hilarious. I still can't believe what's going on in these lobbies, in the higher lobbies. It's got me questioning the whole game, everything I learned. And look at that. How did that invisible woman get back there? And that is hilarious. Look at Wolverine chasing. She must have gone invisible and then ran back there. She was bored. That is funny. Now, they're going to surrender at the very end of the round. Why not surrender earlier? Why wait until right now to surrender? But hey, I ain't mad because I got to see something I've never seen before. Because I used to always make a joke that my teams are the only teams that are this terrible. It's a miracle. The other team actually had some terrible players on it. They quit the game. I've never seen that before. Jeff is nice, huh? Give that guy a map. Merch is now available at chrissmooth.com. Shipping worldwide. My songs, He Quit the Game, Lob City, and My Camo are now available on all streaming platforms. But look what I'm gonna do to that. I'm gonna block that dunk. Get that cheese out of here. When I did that, I said, all right, Cat might be the character for me. What rhymes with cash? I just put Doctor Strange to the floor.